Hi, I'm RC Jim, and I just have a quick video for you with regard to a couple of little tiny repairs, but things that I think show some important things. Now, here on my landing gear cover support, this little plastic tube-like thing that comes off of the landing gear strut there, that broke off in the plastic bit right next to this tube here. And so I go about repairing that, but repairing it in such a way that it's got reinforcement in it. The other thing that I've got for you is, as I mixed up some epoxy to do that, I just did a little bit of reinforcing on this antenna wire coming out here. Just something to keep that from getting damaged further. So, watch, and a couple minutes you'll have those two things down. I've got a simple and easy repair job for you, but it does illustrate some important principles with regard to repairing your planes. So I have a look here at my P-51, and today on one of my dodgy sort of landings, we managed to break loose the gear door cover for when the retracts go in. It's a plastic piece that is just broken off of where the landing gear goes. And I note that it looks like there's a screw that goes in from underneath the plastic decal or plastic, this black, white, and gray is a sheet of plastic stuck on there. Underneath that there's a screw that goes into this, and that is hollow. I don't know if you can see that or not. The hollow bit is where the screw has gone into. That hollow bit just continues a tiny bit into there. Now, when you glue something like this, I'm going to use epoxy, and I'm not just going to stick epoxy on there because that'll break off real easy without any reinforcement. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of wire into that hole and make sure it's got epoxy in the hole. And I'm going to drill the hole right where that one is on this side to get it in as far as I can. And what that's going to do is the steel that we put in there will give it additional strength. And it not only provides more area for the epoxy to adhere to, but it also provides especially additional shear strength. So if something hits it from the front and you got a shearing force, without the steel in there, it's just simply the strength of the epoxy, or more likely than even that, the strength of the adhesion between the epoxy and the plastic to keep it from falling off. But by having the hole in there, having this embedded in epoxy in that hole that goes across from this piece to that piece, that's going to provide a lot of strength. So we're now ready to drill a hole in the plastic bit. As we do that, we've got the dimple of the hole already present there that we can use to set a guide where we're going. We don't want to drill in too far. We want to go far enough to be able to get a good grip, but we're not sure as to what all is holding the providing the strength in that strut down at that point. Up at the top, it clearly has a piece of piano wire embedded inside the plastic, but my guess is by the time you get down to this place, it's just relying on the strength of the plastic itself. So it's a bit of a compromise between strength for attaching the gear door cover as compared to reducing the strength of the strut that's holding the landing gear. So we'll put a bit of wire in there. We're sort of working out how long to do it. We'll cut that off, get that ready to go, and then we'll epoxy it in place. We now have our epoxy mixed up and ready to go, and we've prepared a wire. We've gone a little bit thicker than what we originally planned on, and we've taken that wire and we put it in a vise and clamped it in a couple of different directions to put some dimples along the length of it to help give it something to adhere to. We'd already put some epoxy into the holes, and now we're adding some to the little steel wire as well. And of course we worked out how long to make that, both by probing into the landing gear strut as well as into the little piece that is attached to the cover to get the total length, something that'll fit. Put that back over that wheel. Okay, we did put epoxy onto that bit. Now I just need to use a rubber band or small clamp. Okay. I note that probably that screw has also bent a little bit. That thing is angled back a little bit, but the key thing is we want this flap or this door to be roughly the same distance out from the tire, front and back. And that's roughly where that is right now. So I think that's going to be good. So all we got to do is let that harden up, and she's all done. Well, the repair is complete, and we're all set to rip up the skies again. Well, while we're thinking about crazy ideas, I got one here. On this receiver, where the antenna comes out, the insulation didn't go all the way down, and it was just acting like it could be a spot where it might continue to bend and whatever. And I had this spare epoxy, and I thought, what if we just simply put some epoxy onto the antenna where it goes into the receiver to just support it there, so that that joint is not under stress or strain. So I just had some epoxy already mixed up from that last little job, and put it on there. We'll see if I can get it to stay in place while it gets hard enough to do anything. But there's another little idea for you. Well, we held that long enough, tipping it one way, then tipping it another way, while holding the antenna straight back and forth, until we sort of felt that it was, gelled enough to where it wasn't going to flow. And then I just put it up here on the saw with a few blocks of wood to hold it in place, to allow it to solidify there. And hopefully that's going to help support this antenna coming down. Well, I trust that these two little repair tips have been helpful to you. If you haven't done so already, be sure and subscribe. And of course, have a look at some of our other videos over there. And I trust that you'll find some very helpful things here on the channel. So you have a great day and happy flying.